a good chance, of course, that fusion energy research is a total waste of time and money, and I might have to completely eat my words about fusion energy when it comes to what I said last time on another video that I put on my channel. And now I'm reading some of the headlines about Europe's energy crisis, and now they're talking about us entering a global energy crisis. And I read in the news today that Lebanon is now completely out of power and is facing blackouts. So let's just look at some of the headlines quickly. Sorry, go back. This is Bloomberg. China energy crisis hitting everyone in global supply chain. Bloomberg again. Global energy crisis threatens to hit US grids this winter. China's energy crisis, this is Foreign Policy magazine, is the fault of cheap pricing and too much coal. Bloomberg again. Energy crisis forces German power plant to halt on lack of coal. Bloomberg. Europe's energy crisis is about to go global as gas prices soar. Bloomberg, what does a global transition to clean power mean? Energy crisis, gas shortages. This is CNN, a global energy crisis is coming, there's no quick fix. Yeah, I think it may well be fair to say that we've hit peak oil, definitely, and it seems that peak gas may also be a thing, that we're suffering from a conspicuous lack of natural gas, which doesn't really strike me as so surprising, since we've been attempting to frack for years, and that hasn't really gone particularly well, and it's certainly not a very good idea to frack, I don't think. And that's just like getting the little itsy bitsy bits of gas trapped in shale deposits underground by pumping in a load of poisonous chemicals into the earth. And yeah, this is all pretty fucking scary stuff. I don't know the extent to which we may need to adopt horses and carts, say, at some point in the future, and ride horses to petrol stations more often, like that guy did the other day in Wales, I think. London CNN Business. Astronomical increases in natural gas prices, skyrocketing coal costs, predictions of $100 oil. A global energy crunch caused by weather and resurgence in demand is getting worse. Stirring alarms ahead of this winter when more energy is needed to light and heat homes. Governments around the world are trying to limit the impact on consumers, but acknowledge they may not be able to prevent bills spiking. In China, rolling blackouts for residents have already begun, while in India power stations are scrambling for coal. Consumer advocates in Europe are calling for a ban on disconnections if customers can't promptly settle what they owe. Jesus Christ. Yeah, so this is a global energy crisis. This couldn't be caused by Brexit or anything like that, really, I don't think. It may well be caused by the pandemic, but I think that there's a deeper cause at the heart of all this, which is that we don't have enough fossil fuel reserves to run our economies, or in the same way that we used to. We've hit that peak in production and now we're on the downward slope, and the economies of the globe are going to have to adjust to that, it would seem. So yeah, I mean, in the UK it is caused to some extent by Brexit, that is true, but there are deeper causes at the heart of it all, and that more important causes such as peak oil and peak gas and possibly even peak coal by the look of things, since coal supplies, judging by those Bloomberg headlines, seems to be something of an issue also, which I never really thought that it was. I thought we had enough coal to basically last forever. Bloomberg, energy crisis forces German power plant to halt on lack of coal. Foreign policy, China's energy crisis is the fault of cheap pricing and too much coal. I need to read more into this really before I start doing videos about it. Oh God. So is this the next big thing? The next thing? Living in a world with no power and no cheap energy anymore. I suppose it might well be, and we'll have to adjust to some new reality, as I've said already in another video. Would it be horses and carts one day again? Possibly, I think. Doesn't really bear thinking about too much, I don't think. Or it does, even, because it's a massive problem that we need to solve. But then again, doesn't everybody hate technology? And we've never been more miserable. There's a mental health epidemic, and so on and so forth, and people hate living in this world of tech and cars and cheap and easy travel and everything like that. Maybe we'll experience a nice life if we go back to a sort of simpler life, possibly. And it'll be more like Back to the Land, and it could all be very charming and lovely, you never know. More like the 18th century, possibly. Where we could all be like 18th century dandies and ladies. And yeah, wear those hats and waistcoats and we go, hello. Oh, a silly Billy. But yeah, I mean, we've known forever, I think, that this trend of industrialisation can't continue forever. And when it comes to renewables, I've never been so sold on the idea that they're going to be the things to save us entirely. I don't think that renewable energy can account for the shortfall that we'll experience when we run out of oil, coal and natural gas. I'm not sold on that idea. I think it'll account for some of it, but not all of it. That's why I've said that we need fusion to be developed so that we can account for that shortfall. Or for things like hydrogen fuel cells to really come online. But that's just another step removed, because you need electrolysis to sequester the hydrogen, or to extract the hydrogen from water, I should say. And then there is the problem of also sequestering hydrogen, which you need like certain special rare metals to store it in batteries and so on, which makes that problem a whole lot more difficult. This is a dilly of a pickle, ladies and gentlemen. I hate that phrase, but it is a dilly of a pickle. I'll keep you posted. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye bye bye.